it's a miserable situation, but Mary did do the right thing, even though I'm sure it was hard for her.
Well, you don't fire your own sister from a job that she likes without considerable pain, let me tell you.
Especially that sister from that job.
It's like throwing her out of the family. That's the way Siobhan sees it, anyway.
Where is she now?
She's upstairs, dear.
Oh, I'll go up and talk to her. I don't want her to think that I'm furious about this or that the whole state is suddenly discussing my illegitimate son. I'm sure nobody even noticed.
Thanks to you. You know, we really came over here to tell you how brilliant you were. If I had had to answer Jerry Jerome's questions about Frank's 2 sons, I'd have turned to stone. But you fielded it beautifully. I'm sure 90% of the TV audience didn't think twice about 1 son or 2 sons. They just fell madly in love with you.
And they wanted you for a mother. But, it's too late. They lose. You're already spoken for.
I never thought the 2 of you would walk in here today smiling. Mary said that you were...
In a rage,
Yes.
I was. I calmed down, though, when Mary told me that it was Siobhan who made the slip to Miss Jerome. You see, what I was really afraid of was an informer in the ranks. Somebody who was out to get Frank.
Mine, I know Mary's private theory, but frankly, I don't buy the idea that Siobhan needs to sabotage me in order to put herself in permanent trouble with the family. Okay, we all have unconscious drives. I'm sure I have as many as anyone else. But the problem with Siobhan is not that it's not all that complicated. It's the same problem she's had since birth.
And what would that be?
Siobhan can't keep her mouth shut.
Oh. Well, whether it's out of goodwill or bad, the fact is that girl does create disasters. Large or small, they seem to happen on a regular basis when she's at home.
Yeah, but don't forget now, she's been an enormous help in the campaign up until today.
Well, I'm not sure that's entirely true, son. When Mary was here before and the 2 of them were going at each other, there was some talk that Siobhan had made a mistake prior to this. Now, they wouldn't talk to me about it, but it seems that Mary told Siobhan a while back that she was either to mind her P's and Q's or be fired.
Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't, but I must say it convinces me even the more that we really should trust Mary's decision to let Siobhan go.
Yeah, but Ray, it's such a natural mistake to make. I mean, I do have 2 sons, and they're openly acknowledged within the family.
Well, within the family.
Yeah, but I still can understand how Siobhan might have just blurted it out in the midst of a spiel about your grandchildren and so forth. I could picture myself doing the same thing.
No, you cannot. Do not allow that thought to even enter your head.
Frank thinks of Edmund because he loves him, as we all do. What I mean is, it's very natural for it to acknowledge the child as Orion. It's just that we've decided in the family to wait until after the election. I can sympathize with Siobhan. I feel very badly for her, but nevertheless...
Yeah. Well, you have been through it today, huh? Up at the crack of dawn, right? A breakfast meeting with me at the PBA, a TV interview, Mary and Siobhan fighting.
Yes, and more.
More? What else happened?
No, what I mean is I'm sad about Siobhan. I'm confused, too. I can't figure it out.
I know, Ma. She had a lot riding on this. Getting close to Mary, trying to find a place in the family as something other than the household firecracker. I'm sure I'll talk to her. Maybe there'll be a way to patch things up.
There isn't, Frank. I blew it, and Mary let me know that loud and clear.
Hi. I'm interrupting. Go back to work.
No, come on in. I've been working on this for a while. It just takes a minute to switch gears.
Well, I won't stay. I went to visit Faith, and her doctor was with her. I figured you're the next best person to ask.
What?
How's she doing?
Fine. In fact, Dr. Post is giving her a final examination before she's discharged.
She's going home today?
That's right. I've hired a nurse to take care of her during the days, and I'll take over at night. I think we're going to manage just fine.
Oh, of course you will. That's terrific.
So, what else can I do for you?
Well,
If it's time for lunch and break, you can join me at Lem's. I don't have to pick up Ryan for some time.
Why Lem's?
I ate with my in-laws yesterday. Besides, we find it a little easier talking without being surrounded by Ryans.
Possibly. But I can't take a lunch hour today. I want to finish this, so I'll have the afternoon off.
To work out?
No, to take Faith home and help her settle in.
Of course.
Actually, I was hoping to get to the gym for a short workout. Tomorrow, maybe. I haven't been back since that day you came by when I had the session with Earl.
Me neither. Should go, though. It's a great way to stay in shape. Guess I could skip rope at home, but it's not the same.
What were you doing at the gym that day?
Jumbo called me. Said you were tearing the place apart. Figured maybe I could help get you to leave peacefully.
I guess it was something like that.
You guessed right.
Yeah. I don't feel bad anymore. It's true I'm a little uncomfortable with the Ryans. Talking to them isn't the same.
Is it because of your feelings about Pat?
About Pat. About the lies.
Which lies? I don't understand.
You mean I don't understand? Isn't that what you mean?
Tom, you told me that you cover up your jealousy, that you deny it with most people. So when you're talking about lies, I don't know if you mean your own or somebody else's. I'm just trying to follow you and get it straight in my own head.
Somebody else's lies. What would they be?
Don't ask me.
All right.
Let's go back to where you're uncomfortable with the Ryans. Let's take it from there.
I'm guilty of talking in circles again. All I really mean, Jack, is that I'm fine about Pat and Faith. Pat is out of our life now. Faith is married to me, and we're going to make a whole new start. And the only problem with the Ryans is that we have to be careful with one another because of my attitude in the past. But that will fade because the jealousy's gone. The fact is that I've landed on my feet. I'm in great shape, and all the crises are over except for the one that will happen if I don't get this finished. So can we have lunch maybe next week sometime?
Sure. Good luck to you both. Mary and I started again. If we can do it, you and Faith should be a shoo-in. There'll be other babies. Whole house full.
Yes, Faith and I were just discussing that this morning.
Give her my love, will you?
I will. Take care.
He lied too.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter.
She went to meet Pat on that boat. They were making love, and not for the first time. That's why no one told you.
I don't want to be angry. There's going to be no trouble.
You are angry, and you have a right to be. Ah, poor Thomas. And she doesn't even want another child.
What can I do?
I'll help you. I'll be angry for you.
No one's angry, Siobhan. And I doubt that you hurt Frank, at least in terms of the campaign. However, in all fairness, I do have to say that I think Mary did what she had to do.
What she had to do?
Yeah. Come on, let's just consider the incident closed, shall we?
Oh, I'm all for that.
All right, I'll be upstairs.
No, you will not. Come back here. Come on. Look, I was just telling Ma I could have had the same thing happen to me.
No, you couldn't. Nobody in the world has my whole flair for botching things. I want you to know, I'm sorry. And there's nothing deliberate about what I did in any way, shape, or form.
I know that. I believe you.
You're the only person who does. But you're the only person who really matters.
Siobhan, don't make it worse for yourself than it is.
I'm not. Maybe Daddy will back me up, but as far as Mary's concerned, I plan to tell the world about Edmund, and you seem to agree.
All right. Now listen, there's no point in arguing about it because it can't go anywhere. The fact is, Siobhan, you stepped right into the middle of the proverbial hornet's nest. Now, the publicity about Edmund, it's been a threat throughout this entire campaign, and it will continue to be so right up until Election Day. And we all hate living with that. But the fact is, we have to, until I am free to work out some kind of resolution.
Like what?
I don't know, Siobhan, I really don't. An agreement with Jill, first of all. And then you and we'll call a full dress press conference. We'll announce to the world I'm his father. We just get it over with, right?
Oh, Francis.
You might not have to do anything. If Jill goes ahead, there might not be any point.
Let's have some tea now, and forget about all of this. Go put the kettle on, dear.
Wait a minute. If Jill goes ahead with what?
Siobhan,
She didn't say it was a secret.
if you are so sorry, for goodness sake, that you talk too much, can't you be still?
I only said what...
I know, we all heard it. You don't have to repeat it.
All right, let's have it.
Oh, you are so wrapped up in your own pain that you trample on everybody's feelings the minute you open your mouth. I feel very bad for you and your troubles, and I wish you could find a place in this family that you're looking for. But I've got to tell you, I'm fed up. I am so sick to death of you playing the injured party while you're dealing out blows left and right while you think everybody else is being unkind.
All right, Ma, that's enough. Now, are you going to tell me, or am I going to have to take Siobhan upstairs and she'll tell me?
Jill was by after the camera people left. She's marrying Seneca in a few days, as I understand it. And I thought that was news that you could just wait for a while for.
Did you discuss Edmund?
Yes, we did. She says that we'll see him often. And now, if you'll excuse me, darling, and you too, Ray, I'm going to go and sit in the back of a church. I need a little quiet time.
Sure.
She's had quite a day, hasn't she?
Yeah.
How are you?
I've got half an hour, don't I?
Yeah, about that. We'll get a sandwich and then we'll go on back to the apartment. Bob should be there to go up with the upstate numbers.
You go ahead. I'll meet you there. I'll try not to be late.
The most foolish thing you could do right now would be to go see Jill.
I have to get this straightened out, Ray.
You're too angry about Edmund. It will make things worse.
Well, I'll take that chance.
Damn it! When are you ever gonna give up on her? She left. You agreed that it's all over, but you just use any excuse to go flying back to her? What are you gonna do? You gonna tell her she can't get married, beg her to come back to you?
I am going to hold on to my son. That's all.
I didn't hear you.
I didn't see you. Well, I did see something as I walked by, but I thought it was Finn. Where is everybody?
I have no idea.
My kid crawling around here somewhere?
She's probably out with Mrs. Shaw.
Ah. Yoga, huh? You know, I've always been interested in it, but I never did it. No kidding, Jack. Well, I'll tell you all about it. Oh, no, Siobhan, I wouldn't want to How come, you're home in the middle of the afternoon?
Would you leave me alone? Ask Mary.
Another fight, huh? You didn't quit.
No. I was fired. You know all that stuff we were laughing about yesterday? I actually went out and did it.
What?
Let the family skeleton out of the closet, blabbed the whole scandal to the press, and I didn't even realize I was doing it, which probably means that Mary was right, and I am some kind of a fool that wants to hurt people.
Would you tell me that who it is you talked to and what you said?
Jerry Jerome. I told her about Edmund.
Explicitly?
I was briefing her before the interview with Mother, and she started counting up grandchildren, and I said Frank had 2 sons.
Yeah, and?
So on the air, she asked Mother about her grandsons, plural.
That's it? Maeve dodged it, didn't she?
Of course. She went into this whole instant switch, this whole long story about little John going to nursery school, and Frank's wanting to share him with her and Da, and how glad she was that her grandson, singular, was part of her life. She was incredible. Ray said there wasn't any harm done.
And Frank?
Just the same, he's not mad. But Mary, see, she's my boss. She was mad. She really wiped up the floor with me. You think this is all gonna blow over? It's not. Ray and Frank were very nice to me, but boy, they backed Mary. And Ma, that's the worst part. She would be delighted if she came upstairs and found the only sign of me here, a goodbye note.
Somehow, I doubt that.
Look, Jack, you didn't see what she looked like when Mary started to lay into me. And you didn't hear one word that she said to me later on. And you couldn't possibly have seen the way that she looked at me. She may be all forgiving with you and anybody else in the world, but she really isn't with me. She really could strangle me right now. And frankly...
You could do the same to her.
Well, obviously, I have to make some changes. And I can't think of what they are, so I came up here to breathe. I guess I should just be alone for a while, if you don't mind.
Okay.
All that good advice shot to hell. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. For you. About that breathing, do a lot of it before you make any big decisions, huh? Please?
Just a sec.
I'm glad I caught you in.
I was just on my way to a board meeting.
Well, this will only take a few minutes.
Well, that's a few minutes that I don't have. Excuse me.
The last time we talked about Edmund, nothing was settled. Now, Jill, I think we should try to reach some sort of an agreement before you marry Seneca.
And you really think that that can be dealt with in a couple of minutes? You're unbelievable.
And you really are still furious at me, aren't you?
I'm leaving.
Fine. As soon as we make an appointment to sit down and talk about Edmund seriously. What about tonight?
I'm busy. And tomorrow night and the night after that. And anyway, it doesn't matter because I understand your position about Edmund and you understand mine.
No, I don't. Ma says that you would like to keep him close to them. I'd like to get a little more specific.
I said that I would work out specifics with Maeve and Johnny.
Meaning that I am out of the picture, or at least that's what you'd like to think.
Frank, listen. I told you that Edmund would grow up, knowing that you're his father, loving you, admiring you. But he's also going to know that your time with him was severely limited. Now, I really thought that I had explained all of that and you were following it. But if not, I could write it down on a piece of paper sometime when I'm not busy.
Why don't you write down on that piece of paper all the story about a father's right to raise his own child? You're an expert in that affair. Or at least you were.
I used to be a lot of things that I'm not anymore.
I know. Including being honest with yourself.
You really can say that to me?
Yes, I can say that to you. You claim that it's right and just to separate me from my son? To judge my good intentions and then find them wanting? To decide that Seneca will raise my son because my career is too demanding? You don't believe that, Jill. Not deep down inside. No, deep down you're hurt. You're mad and you're trying to punish me. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth, and you know it.
You barge in here carrying this great torch for your son, who you have practically ignored for months. And you accuse me of punishing you? And then all of a sudden you're going to leave the Senate, hop a plane, and what? Show up at parents' night in nursery school? Well, you may buy that, but I don't. Come on, Frank, the reason you're really furious is because I caught you, dead on, with your mistress and your champagne and mud on your face. And that really galls you, doesn't it?
It's an interesting analysis, but it's also wrong.
Look, why don't you go home and devote yourself to little John if you're so crazy about being a parent?
Ma wasn't crying about little John. She was crying about Edmund.
I told you that there was nothing for her to worry about.
There is if you marry Seneca, Jill.
Oh, that bothers you, huh?
You'll be desperate in 6 months.
After you, Seneca will be heaven.
What if you could change your past? Erica does, every week, because sometimes the only way to move forward is to go back. A new original primetime drama, Being Erica, tonight at 10 on SoapNet.